welcome, it's Amanda. Welcome to 56 it seems like 52 journals, and I'm going through a weekly journal for you to see, give you some hints and tips, and look at some of the methods I've used to either create it or embellish it. None of the journals are totally finished, so they're all works in progress, and it's nice to be able to dip in and dip out. So this particular journal has been made from card, and I folded the card to the size that I wanted to initially. And before we go into what's on the pages, what I did was take, I had card that also had been painted on, and I've got a box full of, they're called toppers, so I could have added this on another card or whatever, and I've made just some tabs at the end. So essentially what I did with this is to cover it initially in cover it with paper and then add some collage, and there's some interesting and we'll go through, I'll go through because this is actually interesting, but some pages with some of the supplies that I used. So on the front, so we start at the front and the back. This is deli paper or wax proof. Is it wax proof? The paper you use in the oven, and I'd used it with some wax resist that I was doing, and this was under it, so it picked up a bit of wax and some of the colour which is evident here, and so I've just left it, used it to cover this, and that was a nice start. So the other thing that I've done is I had a whole bag full of buttons that I think I'd picked up from in a charity store, or were extra in a bag that I had. So I thought, well, how can I use them? Some of the buttons are nice and some of them I wouldn't necessarily have used for a project. So I cleaned them up, because some of them have these, and I'd left them in because I might want to add to it. I've left in the way that they were attached to the card that they came in was using a little staple. So I've left the staple in some of them, and what I might do is add beading. So come in with some wire and add beading. And as you can see, I've just covered the book, the back and the front, around the edges with the buttons, and I think it has a really nice effect, and you've got some nice dimension there. And so as we open it, we've got the different tabs on each side, and each page has been done differently. I've played, it's done at different times, so I've played with paint and just used it to experiment with, and as you can see, and then I've come back and done some more markings on some of the pages. This particular page uses tea bags, and I've just painted it as well. So we've got some nice different elements there, and I've just used some handmade paper. I've got some additional little corners that I can add to, and I've just again used all the paper that I could find, that I had, that was just sitting around, and used it in the journal, and I can come back in, and which is the idea, and add some more to it. But this was a nice quick journal that I put together, but then I've come back and added paint, and there was paint that I had on papers, so that's something that you can put together and use some of the elements that I've used here. So I hope that's been useful, and I look forward to seeing you again soon.